Oh, we are live! How are we, lads? Come on, the footy! The footy spot! Guys, subscribe to the channel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah! The Cowboys win it! Woo! How are we, lads? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to episode number 4 of One on One with Nick from Australia. And joining me tonight is Nathan B. Moore. Nathan is a I guess you could call him a famous country singer. Nathan, how are you, bro? And welcome back to the channel.
Yeah, it's cold. It's very cold here. I'm very happy to be here and that. I hope everyone in the chat's all good. And yeah.
Well, mate, it's good to have you on the channel once again. And yes, I agree. It is cold. It's absolutely freezing cold up here, especially in Lismore. It's fucking cold, I'll tell you that much. But if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like the live stream, subscribe to the channel around here if you're new around here as well. It means a lot. And share the video around all over social media and get everyone to tune in. But this is episode number 4 of One on One with Nick from Australia. I'm joined by Nathan B. Moore tonight, all the way down there in beautiful Taree. It's good to have Nathan on the channel. Before we get into tonight's show, I just want to go back to the live chat here for a moment and say hello to everybody that's joined us. Hello to SS Storm fan, Peripi is here, Josh Rabbitohs 2022, Zenpai in the house, CJ Moxley, Pro Enzo Vids, Luke Melbourne Storm fan, Jason Reader is here, Minty Rabbitoh is here, Yozar is here, Cody Games PlayStation is here as well, William Pearson. The chat's looking good. And it's good to see a very nice crowd building up for Monday night, 7 o'clock p.m., August 15, 2022, episode 4 of One on One with Nick from Australia. All right, well, with that all out of the way, Nathan, are you ready?
I'm more than ready, my friend. I'm more than ready. Let's get into it.
All right, let's go, Nathan. Now, I'm going to ask you some really, really good questions tonight. Personal questions. So don't be afraid to show a bit of emotion if things get a bit too difficult for you. So I'm just going to try and break it down, mate. I want to know all about your life. You've come on the channel plenty of times. You've done reviews with me. You've come on the late night show. I think you've come on the podcast a couple of times as well. So we're gonna really deep dive and we're gonna learn more about you, Nathan. We're gonna learn a lot about you, my friend. So let's get into it. And first thing I'm gonna ask you, Nathan, where the hell are you from? Where do you live, mate? Who the hell are you?
All right, Nathan B. Moore, but the B stands for my father's name, which is Brad. I am from Taree, New South Wales, home of Danny Badiris, Boyd Cordner, and of course, Latrell Mitchell and Shaquille Mitchell. I'm 22 years old, born in 2000. I was born here in Taree, even though for about when I was 1, I moved to a place called Scone in the Hunter Valley. Spent 10 years there. When I was 11, I moved back to Taree, and I've just been here ever since.
Mate, what is Taree like? Is it a nice area or what?
It's I don't even. I mean, it's got its perks. It's got its perks, I will say, but Taree can be a little bit I've been how you going and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a decent place, pretty good town and that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nice. Well, that's good. That's fantastic. All right, mate. So obviously, growing up as a young fella, I mean, we always joke about on the group chat on Instagram. You change teams all the time. One week you're a Parramatta supporter. The next week you're following Newcastle. You're going back to St. George, Canberra. You followed heaps of teams. We're going to get into that later on in the program. But, mate, as a young fella, as a young kid, did you have a team growing up and did you have a favourite player?
I did. And this will actually shock a lot of yous. When I was 6 years old, I was a Warriors fan. I used to support
New
the
Zealand
Warriors.
Wow. Really?
Yes, because of one player.
Who?
He used to play for the Bulldogs. His name was Steve Price.
Pricey. Yeah, wow.
It was Steve Price. If I may have a minute, I've got some of the shows.
Yeah, go for it, mate. I mean, I've got all the time in the world tonight.
If I can find it, it's been a while, but I've got something here that might interest you.
Well, mate, feel free to show the audience. We've got 25 people here just about, so feel free.
Sorry for the lateness, but this was my Christmas present when I was 7. 7 years old.
Oh wow!
I got this for Christmas.
Is that the Warriors 2008 jersey or 2007? 2008, isn't it?
2007. It was 2007. Number 10. That was Steve Price's number.
Yeah, well, you've still kept that in your memory. That's fantastic.
Mm.
Fantastic. All right, mate. So you're a young fella. You're loving the New Zealand Warriors. Steve Price is basically your idol. Now, this is a tough question. Why did you stop following the New Zealand Warriors?
Around when I was about 12 and that, I sort of had a break from watching football. I had a break from watching footy. I just didn't really get into it as much as in that. And also because it was hard back then, it was hard to find stuff for the Warriors. Like me being an Aussie and that, it was a bit tough, especially when you're from a place like Taree. They don't tend to stock that kind of like Warriors and that. So it was tricky, but yeah, that's why I left.
All right. Well, mate, I want to go a bit off course. I want to ask you a couple of other questions. I want to ask you about, as a young fella, did you play rugby league for your local team growing up? Did you play rugby league on the weekends? Did you enjoy it? Did you play it? I mean, did you play it all?
Yeah, I played a bit of league and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I only played one season though. I played for my school, which was Scone Public, but I also played for the Scone Thoroughbreds for a little bit. I had to stop because of illness. A lot of illness in the brain and that. One head knock and I'd be gone. I would have been gone. I'd probably have a massive seizure.
Was that like under 10s, under 12s, or was that like what was it?
I was under 8s.
Under 8s. Jesus.
Under 8. Mm-hmm.
So you had to stop playing because of a you had to stop playing because of a brain drama, basically.
Yeah, sort of. I didn't get the injury, but it was more a precaution.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense, but yeah.
I can sort of relate because I got a bad illness myself back in 2007 called encephalitis on the brain, and the doctors didn't want me to play any sport, and I was only a young fella. This is 2007, mind you, and they didn't want me to play any contact sport, and then I was going to play contact sport, and they wouldn't let me. And then I had an eye problem where one eye is normal and the other eye is a bit, it's a bit, it's called a lazy eye. And I went to the eye doctor, and they told me that they didn't want me to play sport, and I didn't listen. I played sport. I didn't listen to any of them. But I can understand where you're coming from, because you don't want to risk an injury, especially at that age. Like, fuck that. I understand where you're coming from. And as I always say, bro, medical,
it really sucked.
You'd rather look after your health than you would. Then you'd rather be safe than sorry, and your health's more important anyway. So I understand that. But mate, when you were playing footy, did you play in the front row? Did you play like in the backs? Like where the hell were you playing?
Me being I was a big lad. I was a big kid, and I still am a big person. So I was a front rower.
Smashing all the
full front, full prop, and that. Yeah. King hitting them all. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's fantastic. Would you ever go back to playing rugby league on the weekends, or do you think that's probably gone past you now?
I would have to say no. I think that chapter has gone past me in that, as I'm focusing on what I love more, which is music, which I'll get to that in a minute. But
yeah.
All
right, well, before we get to what you're doing with your career now, I just want to ask you about school. Did when you were in school, like obviously you spoke about playing for your rugby league team in school there before. Did you enjoy that a lot, mate? Like, what was that like?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, and that when I was 8. It wasn't too bad, but I had another illness as well, which I will talk about in a bit, but that sort of stopped me from what I was doing, especially at the young age. I will say this as well. I did make a comeback in 2018.
Really?
Yeah. I made a little comeback.
Wow.
In 2018, but it was for...
What's that? No, continue.
Sorry about that. It was for a program at my school called Clontarf and that. And I played a couple of games in that, and I felt all right. I'll be honest with you, I felt fine, and I was very happy. I managed to score a couple of tries, which was great. But yeah, it was fantastic in that. But as I said, I wouldn't go back to it because I'm loving what I'm doing right now.
Mate, I'd be terrified to tackle you. You'd fucking kill us. You'd run over us. We'd all get crushed. All right.
So that's the.
Yeah, go on.
I was gonna say sorry. So that's the thing. I'm more of a lover, not a fighter. So
yeah,
I can never hurt anyone.
Yeah, no, fair enough. All right, well, so you grew up as a young fella in Taree. You moved to Taree, I should say. You played a little bit of footy, then you stopped due to medical reasons. You made a little bit of a comeback. Did you finish high school? Did you leave for a job? I mean, what happened there? Did you finish school?
Yeah, I finished high school all the way to year 12. After that, it's sort of a bit rocky and that, but yeah, I just sort of didn't know what to do and that. But it was a challenge, but I managed to find something, which was good.
Just like everyone else, no one knows what they want to do with year 11, year 12. No one knows. Some people do. Some people know what they want to do, but not everybody. All right, mate. So what are you doing with yourself now? Like, obviously, I've seen some of your music. I think it's quality. I think it's world class. What are you doing with yourself now? Like, you're doing your music. You're everything's going fantastic for you. How is life going for you right now?
It's not bad, and that I've got a really good job.
What do you do for a job?
A decent job. I've got a decent job. Work at a cafe, and that I work as sort of a cleaner.
Nice,
that.
nice. Good money there.
Music wise, it's fantastic. I'm actually going tomorrow to record my next single, which will be very exciting.
Mate, that's
Yeah.
fantastic. Mate, I remember when you first released your song. How big of a hit was that, and how much of an impact did that song have on you? You know, making more music.
It was okay. So it was only a little minor hit in Taree. Like all the stations and that were playing it around the local area. But it was probably the best feeling that I've ever had releasing a single and that, because ever since I was a kid, ever since I was like a little 4 or 5-year-old, all I wanted to do was be a musician. All I wanted to do was make music. And to have that come out, it felt like my wildest dreams have come true. I've still got a lot of dreams. I've still got so much dreams going, but yeah, I mean, it was incredible. And to have all of you guys on the chat, like in the group chat that we're in, they're like saying, "Oh, go, you're doing well, go Nate," and all that. And Dean just constantly playing the song and that. It was great. It was great.
No, that is good. No, that's fantastic. If I may, I know you probably can't reveal it, but I'm going to ask you it anyway. What is the next song called anyway that you're releasing?
It's going to be called "From a Jack to a King."
From a Jack to a King. Okay.
Yeah, little old song from the 50s and that, but that's sort of the era I like.
Yeah. I'm just reading the chat right now, and Jose wants to know what's the song name, the one that you created.
Okay, so it's called "I'll Leave This World Loving You." It's sure I don't know if I'll be there straight away when you search it up, but it should be there. It should be there. You'll probably see me wearing like a cowboy hat.
Yeah. I've seen it. I think it's fantastic. I've seen it. It's class.
Thank you.
It's classical, mate. It's it helps people go to sleep at night. It's a great song.
Thank you.
It's a great song. All right, mate. So, do you see yourself as a big country music singer in the future, or what? Because, mate, from what you've told me, the potential's there. It's just up to you now, isn't it?
Oh, mate, the first thing I'm going to do, the first thing I really want to do, I'm going to set my mind to it, is go to Tamworth. Because Tamworth is over there is a massive country music festival.
Yes, it is. It's gigantic. It's gigantic.
It's just massive. And one of the competitions there, the biggest competition is called Star Maker.
Yep.
I've got a mate of mine that actually went on Star Maker, but he didn't win it and that. But I'd love to go on there one day. I'd love to go in there and compete in that. But my biggest dream is to go to a place in America called Nashville, Tennessee. Over there, that is a massive country music area. Like, it's massive over there. So I'd love to go and perform over there one day.
Well, if you set your mind to it, I don't see why you can't do it. I don't see why not. I mean, you've got everything there for you. So, all right. So, I was going to ask you, outside of rugby league, what do you like to do? And obviously you just told me, you write songs, you're a singer, or I should say, country music singer. Back on a bit of rugby league now. Nathan, who do you support in the NRL right now? Because you've seemed to change teams a fair bit.
Well, I'll go for all my history and that. So after
Yeah,
I
go on.
stopped supporting the Warriors,
Yeah,
I went with my dad, and that was to go for the Eels, go for Parramatta. So I went for Parramatta for a little bit,
yuck.
and yeah, I know. When I got back into supporting like watching football and that, um, I actually followed and I know this will make someone very unhappy, the Roosters.
Oh, oh no.
But I have a valid reason for that. I have a valid reason why I went for them, and that
Why?
was because of my mother.
Okay, fair enough. Yep, fair enough.
And I still like them because of my mother, and also because at the time, Latrell was there, and at the time, it still do. I've still sort of got a connection with Latrell, and that his
Yep.
dad actually used to be a counselor for me at high school.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good.
So that's
So after the Roosters, where'd you end up?
well, after Latrell left, that sort of made me stop going for them when Latrell left.
Newcastle? Newcastle in
Yeah, I
there
went to
somewhere?
Newcastle. I went to Newcastle, and I'm a Knights fan, and that was actually when I joined the chat. When I joined the little group chat that we
because
have.
I remember you as a Newcastle fan, not a Rooster supporter, but yeah, Newcastle. Continue. Why were you a Newcastle fan?
It was closer to home. Taree is about an hour and a half away from Newcastle.
Yeah.
So I just sort of went there because, you know, they're a home team and that if I got a membership, I could go to the games and that a lot more easier than going to a Sydney game.
For sure.
And then after that, it just was open fucking season.
So after Newcastle, was it the Cowboys? You became a Cowboys fan for a while, didn't you? Like a good 6 months.
Yeah,
you jumped on the
became a
Cowboys.
North Queensland fan.
Why'd you jump on the Cowboys? Why? What's the reason?
My nan, my nan as well. She started support. She's also a South fan. She's also a Bunnies fan, but she started really getting into the Cowboys after 2015 because she just loved Jonathan Thurston.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't love JT?
And then you left the Cowboys, mate, and then you went back to the Dragons. Now I'm trying to remember what your pop. Hey, it was because of your pop, wasn't it?
It was my pop. Yeah, because he passed away
That's
about
understandable.
a few months before she joined.
So what team you support now? Because last I checked, you were a Dragons fan. But where are you right now? Who do you follow right now?
I'll be honest, man. I'm still I'm in limbo at the moment.
You are the rugby league bandwagoner for a reason.
Exactly, and like I know people say it's a bad thing and all that, and I can understand why. But like, if it brings joy to people, if it brings like happiness to people and gets people to have a laugh, I'm happy with that. I'm happy to, because I'd rather see people laugh at my expense. That's just the way I am because I just hate seeing people sad. I hate seeing people the way, like if they're upset in that, I hate it. So if I can make them laugh, even at my own expense, get some sort of positivity, then that's mission accomplished for me.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, I totally understand that. I get where you're coming from. All right. All right. So I don't really know what more I have to ask you, but I'm just going to ask you this one more question, mate. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years from now, and what NRL team do you reckon you'll be supporting?
Um, well, probably do music. I'd
Yep.
probably do music in that. There is actually one major thing I want to tell you guys about, and this is the part where this could get a bit emotional. I'll be honest.
Yep.
So when I was about 4 or 5, I was diagnosed with a thing called autism.
Ah. Yes. Yep.
Um, it's for the for the best for the like shortest answer. It's for the best and for the worst, and that
Yep.
like for the best because I've done some incredible things and I could do some incredible things, but at the same time, I feel like it's brought me down so much. Like I've never, I can never hold a decent relationship. I can never hold decent. I can never have like friends and that. Like a friendship, I always struggle because I'm always worried and that, thinking like, shit, what do I do? What do I say? Am I going to offend someone if I'm going to be like, and I'd also like I feel upset for my parents as well because I feel like I'm I'm not good for them. Me being person with autism, I feel like I'm not good for them, and that. And my mother, she fought relentlessly. She fought relentlessly to get me where I am today, and I cannot thank her enough for everything she's done for me. Um,
That's very powerful.
and like, and that's why I'm doing a lot of things for autism awareness. Um, because for people that are out there and for people that are like saying themselves, "Oh, why have I got autism? It's such a bad thing." I was like that too. I'm like that too. I thought it was a bad thing, but now I've come to realize that it's not a bad thing. It's such a special thing to have,
Yeah.
and it's. I just want to tell everyone. Like I just want to tell everyone, even if they have autism or not, they are so worth it. They are
Oh
so
yeah.
worth being here and that, and like they never feel ashamed because for a long time I was ashamed to have autism, but I'm not anymore. I'm very much proud of the fact that I'm autistic. I'm very much proud about the fact that I am different to other people, and that even with the team changing, I know it gets. I know I get sick of it, and that I know people get sick of it, but it's just the way I am.
Yeah.
But
No,
like,
that's no, look, that's very powerful, mate. And obviously, autism is something that if you have it, you just got to embrace it. I guess there's not much you can really do about it. I mean, you can't get rid of
hmm,
autism. You're born with it. It is what it is. But no,
and
mate, that's pretty
I'll be honest.
pretty
That's
much.
why I'm.
No, it's just one of those things where I think
I'll.
you just got to embrace it.
Hmm, I'll be honest, man. That's why I've sort of am leaning towards the Raiders
Yeah.
because of what they do for people with autism
Yeah.
and for what Ricky Stewart does. Because a lot of people don't know that Ricky Stewart actually has an autistic daughter
Yeah.
and
He
an
does.
autistic son,
Aye.
and for what they do and for what he does to inspire me, I cannot fault the man and the Raiders for everything the Raiders have done for people with autism. It's just incredible.
Yeah. It is. It is definitely. It is definitely something inspiring, and I think it's something that it's very powerful. But
Mm.
well, mate, thanks for sharing that. I didn't know that about you, but now I do. So That's
All
that's
right.
that's fantastic, mate. Very powerful from you, my good friend. All right. I don't really have any more questions for you, mate. I think we've covered everything that I've wanted to cover, I guess. But Nathan, mate, you've brought a very powerful story to the channel, and it wouldn't have been easy for you to come on here and talk about your life and talk about other things outside of rugby league and players that you like growing up and
Mm.
supporting whoever that you've decided to follow at the time, mate. I want to thank you for coming on the channel tonight, and I just want to say, mate, just keep being you, mate, and don't let anyone tell you you know, don't let anyone tell you you can't do what you want to do.
Hey, thank you so much for having me on, man. Thank you so much for everything you've done for the community, and thank you all for the chat as well for listening to
The chat was good.
listening to some average Joe like me, you know,
Mate, you're more than
talk
average.
about
Put
my
it that way.
story.
You're a quality bloke, and your story is
Thank you.
quality. And mate, people like did I don't want to upset you here, but some people that watch this back, on the channel, they could be mentally ill, they could be suicidal, they could be sick, mate. They might listen to your story and they might not do something that they might not do harm to themselves because of your story, mate. Because your story is powerful and inspiring. So, mate,
Mate,
thanks for coming
that's
on,
the
mate. I
best
really,
thing I've heard all day.
really appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you so much for having me on, man.
No worries, mate. But
All right.
everyone, we're getting out of here. Otherwise, we're gonna leave here in crocodile tears. So we're gonna get going. But everyone in the live chat, thank you all for tuning into tonight's one-on-one with Nick from Australia, episode number 4. Very powerful man here, Nathan B. Moore. Anyway, have a good night, everyone, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the round 23 tips. Like, comment, subscribe, share it around, and